Hi friends, a very warm welcome back to my channel Modern Mystic. It's been almost 2 months since we met, and the reason for that is that I was down with COVID towards the end of January. It took me about 2 weeks to recover, and after that I felt not in the right frame of mind because it took the wind out of my sails, But anyways, here we are. So today I'm going to cut to the chase and give away the organization which I talked about in my second video. It is none other than the Church of Scientology. Internationally, it's known as the Church of Scientology, and in India, it's known by the name Scientology, or simply Dianetics and Scientology. Way back in 2004, somewhere in October, I came across them in Defense Colony, and I did a few programs, and I just realized that they definitely have something which I have been seeking, and I joined as a staff member for a while. And towards the end of 2005, I had quit the organization, but I returned back seeking some higher programs which they had, which they were offering to the public for a price. And I started off with them in December 2005, and the first program they put me on was Confessionals. Confessionals is a part of the Church of Scientology bridge to spiritual freedom, and I feel that it is the most basic thing which almost every human being on this planet ought to do. So the Christian Church is the one which kind of originated this concept, and I believe maybe the founder of Scientology, Mr. L. Ron Hubbard, who kickstarted this small organization in 1950, must have sort of looked into its spiritual aspect. And boy, I agree, it's very powerful. I'm going to just quickly tell you in this video that it is not that, as I mentioned in my earlier videos, that I was in my counseling session and then I happened to witness a past life and boom, I get enlightened. It's not that simple. Well, as I was a seeker and as I began my journey with the Church of Scientology in the year 2005, in early 2006, I started seeing the results. I had become more and more free as a being. I had become more and more in communication with my universe, with my environment, and a big chunk of that goes to these confessionals. So what are these confessionals? I suddenly found myself sitting in an air-conditioned room, looking at my counselor and having to confess almost everything which I had been withholding since my childhood, which shaped up my personality, which shaped up my individuality, which was basically my ego. Today I can talk about it with such ease, but when you are sitting with your counselor and you are admitting those transgressions, those tiny transgressions which you have made, and you are holding on to them deep down in your subconscious and your conscious, they define who you are. But when you come up with it, you release it into the universe. It no longer holds you. To put it simply, you are no longer that criminal which you have made yourself to be because of these transgressions. And believe you me when I say this, almost every man, woman, kid on this planet is having something which he is withholding. Nobody is a saint, right? But when you have, emptied the whole basket of these tiny little transgressions, these tiny little lies, these tiny little withholds, which are making up who you are, you suddenly become so free. You walk out and as if you own the whole universe. The wind is yours. The sunlight is yours. These trees are yours. All these people on this planet are yours. They're a part of you. We all are trying to survive together. And it is life. So, my message to you is that it opened up these doors for me, which eventually led to my huge mystical experience, which I considered as my enlightenment. And for those of you who are wondering, what is he talking about? My enlightenment, this enlightenment, boy enlightenment. Let me take off my sunglasses. I don't know, I just wore them today after a very long time. I usually prefer to drive out in the sun and look around with my bare eyes, because I find sunlight dancing on these tree leaves. I find this hue of the sunlight, this glory. I find this so, these different colors of leaves, because this is spring, and I can notice the different shades like yellow, brown, light brown, dark brown, and then the trees having these leaves which are like, light green, super light green, deep green. It's so fascinating, and the sunlight reflecting across these treetops, and the sunlight reflecting on this road I'm driving on, and the pavement, and boy, it's like, it's an experience. Every day I experience this, and it's just hard to communicate to you how thrilling it is. So now, to put it in perspective, my eyes or my mind became light sensitive. That was the experience I had, where it's like as if I'm in heaven. And then when I look at these white flowers, these pink flowers, these yellow laburnums on the trees, I just go crazy, because something inside has happened, where the intensity of the color, my ability as a humanoid to perceive these colors has skyrocketed. This is probably not human. And that's what I call enlightenment, because this is so fascinating, But then there are a lot of things, huge chunks of my attention units in my mind have been freed from the memories which we are holding on to. And it's because of these transgressions, it is because of these unspoken withholds which we are having, locked up into our mind, which are keeping us from experiencing this environment the way I'm experiencing. Yeah. So as of today, I just wanted to make this short video while driving, just to be able to connect with you on this subject, and to kickstart my channel again, these videos which I'm making. And one more thing before I go today, there's going to be a lot of more information. I happen to realize that the kind of videos and the content and the titles which I have noticed is with the objective of pulling in more and more viewers, They're going to put such fancy titles which are going to invoke you to go and have a look at these videos. And I suddenly have made a decision that I'm not going to make these videos for viewers to have more viewership. No, I don't want to do these videos for that. So I just want to do it so that I have a public record of what I experienced and what I'm experiencing day to day, this beautiful life, and how more people can become aware that there is more to life. And there is certain technology. I was going through a video yesterday where Buddha talks about, after his enlightenment, that why is there suffering in this life on this planet Earth. And he names a lot of things, and in the end he boils down to impressions. And impressions, he further boils down to ignorance. I'm going to make my next video as to what Buddha is trying to communicate to you about these impressions and these ignorance, and how this video is actually connected to how I got rid of my impressions and the weight of my impressions, and which took me out of ignorance. And the beauty which I see in this environment is a direct consequence of that. Thanks for listening in. See you very soon. Have a wonderful day. Ciao.